Hey YouTube, just wanted to take some time to talk about Omega and the standard manual wind Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch. My friends and colleagues, they know me as a watch guy, and whenever they have questions or want advice or need a second opinion on a watch purchase, they usually come to me. The question that I get the most often is what do you recommend, for a first watch, or what do you recommend to get as a gift for either my husband or my boyfriend as a first watch? And I remember when I purchased my first luxury watch in 2014, I was asking the same questions, and the answers came back over and over again. The Speedmaster Professional, the tried and true one, the manual wind, the closed case back, the Hesalite Chrystal, the standard Moonwatch version, and there's a lot to like about this watch, and obviously, I'm saying what was recommended to me. I purchased that watch. Here you go. This is your standard Speedmaster. It's 2014. It's definitely got some wear on it because I wear the hell out of it. But at the end of the day, why do people recommend this watch so much? And I think, there's a bunch of reasons, but you have a super classic design that has stood the test of time. It's been here forever. It's an incredibly legible dial, with the white indices, the white hands, and the black dial, and it's laid out pretty much perfectly. You have the useful chronograph function. You have a very strong brand in Omega, but when you wear an Omega into the office, that's not going to piss off the boss, like maybe coming in to the office with the Rolex on, or something even more luxurious. And maybe the best reason to pick this watch up is bang for the buck when it comes to all those things I already mentioned, and how historically important this model is, being the first watch worn on the moon, and officially being approved by NASA. So that's a lot of reasons, and a lot of good reasons, to suggest this piece as a first watch, or maybe even an only watch. So when I get the question, do I suggest Speedmaster, or when I get the question on what should be my first watch, do I suggest the Speedmaster as well? And the answer is yes. Yes, I almost always mention the Speedmaster as one of my recommendations. It really is a great first watch, and a watch that can fit nicely into any collection, a growing collection, an established collection, a one and only collection. It really does, hit a lot of check marks. Now, with that said, does it need to be this specific Speedmaster version, the manual wind version, and the closed case back, and the Hesalite Chrystal, the real old school version? The purists would say yes, definitely needs to be this exact version, but I disagree. Yes, I do have the manual wind version. I purchased it back in 2014, and again, this was recommended to me by so many so-called experts, and I'm happy I listened to them because it's a great watch. But I remember when I was looking that I really preferred the Sapphire Sandwich version more. I also really liked the Moon to Mars version, that special edition. I remember it sitting in the case right next to this, and I liked it, but I passed on those two because, again, the purists were saying this is the one to go with. Again, no regrets here, but I honestly did like those watches better, and had I purchased, let's say, the Moon to Mars version, I'd probably be a little bit better off financially. Again, no plan on selling this. But just, if I would have just went with my heart instead of my brain, I probably would have made out a little bit better on the monetary side. The truth is, the Speedmaster is an awesome first watch. It's an awesome only watch, but you don't have to go with this version. You don't have to go close case back. You don't have to go manual wind. Go with whatever speaks to you the most. I love Speedmasters, and there are so many iterations in their current catalog and in past catalogs. And I think you can find pretty much anything that will make you happy. It doesn't have to be this one, just because that's what everyone says to get, or most people recommend to get. Some people love, the personal connection with a manual wind watch. But if you think winding the watch up every 2 days is going to be a pain in the ass, then skip it. Find something else with an automatic movement, self-winding movement. If you want to see the movement, you really love this watch, but you want to see the movement, go with the Sapphire Sandwich. Who cares if it's not the exact same look that was worn on the moon? You can't see the back of the watch when it's on your wrist anyway, so no one's going to know when it's sitting on your wrist if you care about that kind of thing. And if you want to flip it over and you want to see the movement, you got that. There's nothing wrong with the Sapphire Sandwich. I actually really like that version. I like I said before, I would have went with that if I would have just listened to myself back in 2014. If you prefer some kind of special edition, it doesn't, you can go with that. It doesn't need to be this one. This one does not need to be your first version, your first watch. It can be a special edition that's your first watch, like the Moon to Mars. A couple really nice special editions out right now is that Apollo 11 50th anniversary. I know that's sold out, but you can still get it on the gray market. That's a beautiful piece. I think the blue CK2998 is also an awesome looking watch. The new Silver Snoopy just came out. If you can get your hands on it, again, you probably a little late to the game at this point, but you can always grab it secondhand. So there's just so many choices, and I just feel like this is the one that's pushed far too often. So just go with what speaks to you. And another collection out there is the Dark Side of the Moon, which I actually really like, by the way. And I do think that I'll get the Apollo 8 Dark Side one of these days. However, I don't really consider that a true competitor with the normal Speedmaster collection. It's just a totally different look and a different feel, and I think they're just totally separate pieces. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with having a Speedmaster like this and then a Dark Side in your collection. That wouldn't be redundant to me at all. But the moral of the story is this: I think Omega is a great first brand option. I think the Speedmaster is a great first watch option. And it does not need to be this standard version, though. There are so many great choices, and you should go with what your heart desires, not what other people's hearts desire. Do your research. Try the watches on. Buy what makes you happy. That's pretty much it for this. But I plan on making some more of these videos in the future. I am not doing these videos for financial gain, but simply because I'm a watch enthusiast, trying to help others in the community where I can. And again, this is me just speaking from my own personal experience. I'm actually downplaying the watch that I own, right? Again, just hoping to help people. I will focus on watches that I like in my videos, not watches that I dislike. Generally, if I disagree with someone's opinion, I'll either politely say so or I'll just, not say anything at all. So if you like this video and agree with my message and want to see more of this type of stuff, feel free to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or want a second opinion or need some advice, whatever, drop me a comment. I'm really good at responding. I like seeing comments, so I like interacting with the watch community. So hit me up, and thanks again for tuning in.